Do you know what is the pole star? Today I'll tell you a very interesting story from our ancient times, which refers to Dhruva Nakshatra, and that is the pole star. The pole star is a very fixed point, which you can see in the pole, which in ancient times people used to be guided by when they were going to, going on a voyage in the sea. You can't make out because there are no directions. Then you look at the stars, and the star which they would see is the pole star. So something which is stable, something which is steady, something which is consistent is called the pole star. Now, in the Indian culture, this is associated with a young hero whose name is Dhruva. Today, we are going to do the story of Dhruva so that all of you can get the idea as to how this story is linked to the pole star or Dhruva Nakshatra. The story begins like this. Dhruva is a very young boy, maybe 5, 6 years old, who is the son of a king. So he's a prince. But his father, the king, has two wives. The mother of Dhruva is the one wife, and there is another wife also, a second wife. The king is very fond of the second one. He's not fond of Dhruva's mother. So Dhruva is neglected. He does not get anything out of his being a prince. He does not get a big palace to live in. He does not have his father's love. He struggles all the time, and his mother is always in tears. So he says he should go and speak to the father about this. He goes one day and he finds that his younger brother, that is his stepmother's son, is sitting on his father's lap. The young prince is dressed in beautiful clothes and the father is sitting on the throne, and this son is sitting on his lap. Now you must remember that Dhruva is a very young boy. So he also feels that I would like to sit on my father's lap. I would also like to wear nice clothes. I don't want my mother to struggle for food, to be so poor that she doesn't have enough to eat or good things to wear. So he goes next to the father and says, "Father, I also want to sit on your lap." Now the father says, "Okay, come, you can also sit on my lap. Two boys can sit on my lap together." Dhruva feels very happy that, finally I'm going to get to sit on my father's lap, and I'm also going to tell him about our problems, how difficult the life of my mother is, although she's a queen. Now, as soon as he gets onto his father's lap, the stepmother comes. She gets very angry. She says, "How dare you sit on the king's lap? You have no place there. Get off immediately." Dhruva is frightened. He says, "Please allow me to sit for a little time. I want to be on my father's lap for a little time." The mother says, "If you want to sit on your father's lap, then you should have been born to me. Had I been your mother, you would be sitting on your father's lap. But your mother has not given you that privilege. Go back to your mother." This little boy is very hurt. He feels terrible. With tears in his eyes, he comes back to his mother's house, very poor and very ordinary house, where nothing is available. Seeing him crying, the mother gets worried. She also feels sad. She says, "My son, why are you crying? What has happened to you today?" The son says that I went to sit in my father's lap. I wanted to tell him about our problem, but I was not allowed to do it. I was asked to get out of that place. The mother gives some good advice to this little boy. That is how mothers bring up children to be good, to have values. So Dhruva's mother says, "Don't worry. When you want anything, you must ask God. Don't ask the king. Ask God for whatever you want, and you will get it." So Dhruva says, "Oh, really? Then let me go immediately and start asking." In those days, all meditation, worship, prayer was all done by going away from home. So Dhruva went into the village, far away from his mother and everybody else, and he started meditating. But he was a young boy, he didn't know how to do it. Therefore, he was struggling. Then there is a sage, Narada. He comes. Sage Narada came to this place and told Dhruva that you are eager to see the Lord. You want to see the Lord, you want to see God. Therefore, I will give you directions. I will teach you how you should pray, how you should meditate. Once you do that, you will get benefited. So this little boy, he's so good. He learns immediately and starts practicing this. With his sincere practice, his devotion, his wholehearted prayer and worship, soon he finds that he has achieved a very high level of excellence. He has got spiritual power within him now. Small young child, but his commitment, his ability to do something sincerely, to learn and practice all what his teacher, Sage Narada, has taught him. Now Dhruva opens his eyes and sees a bright light in front of him. The entire place is full of light. He's amazed. And in that shining light, he sees the form of the Lord to whom he was praying. The Lord says, "Dhruva, I'm very happy with your devotion. You have done excellent penance." Now, penance is a new word I'm using here. You will find a word devotion in one of the word of the day shots. So there you have learned devotion, prayer, worship, etc. Now I'm using a word, penance. Penance is to give up everything and to work hard towards a single goal. To make a lot of sacrifices to attain some goal. So that is penance. So the Lord says that you have done excellent penance. I'm very happy with you. Therefore, please remember that I can give you whatever you ask for. Now, Dhruva forgets about his stepmother's ill treatment because in front of his eyes is a divine vision. He is able to see God in the real form, in the form of a light. So he says, he forgets about his problems. He forgets about his mother's poverty. That mother is very poor. Poverty is a person who is very poor. So all these worldly problems he forgets. He smiles and says, "Lord, I have seen you. Now what more can I ask? I have no boon to ask." Remember, he started his meditation because he wanted his father's love. But now he says, "I don't want anything. My heart is filled when I have seen you. The Lord is very happy. Says, look at this boy, so unselfish. He's not self centered. He's not asking for material things. Then the Lord says, don't worry, you will be remembered forever. You're a little boy, but you will be remembered forever. Nobody will remember your father or your stepmother or any of them. They will be known by your, uh, you know, character, by your greatness. From today, I give you the boon that you will shine as a star in the sky, which is always to be depended on. It's the most dependable star. It is very steady. It is very strong. It stays in one place. It doesn't keep moving around. Your firm resolve, your great worship and meditation, all this will be indicated by that pole star. So from that day, whenever we look at the pole star, we remember this great child whose prayer and worship and devotion were rewarded by the Lord. So when you see the sky tomorrow night, look at the pole star and then recite this story in front of the pole star in your own words using good English. Thank you and all the best.